Welcome back to Financial Freedom. We're going to be covering SOFI today. Congratulations to all the investors and traders out there that purchased and picked up SOFI when it was in the $7 range when we shouted it out here on this channel. Congratulations. You guys made a big come up. You're probably up at least 50%. If you're some of the lucky few who got in the $4 to $6 range, then you're up almost 100% on your position. So, give yourself a, pat on the back for that. Good job. So I have a lot of people asking me right now, is SoFi still a buy at the 950 range, which it's currently trading at? So we're going to go over, did you miss the boat? Is it too late? Is the stock still worth investing? Let's go ahead and take a deeper dive into those things. All right, so before we deep dive further into SoFi, if you guys could just take a moment to like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe, that would really mean the world to me. So if you haven't started your position yet, then unfortunately you just missed the run up. People have been asking me, is SoFi still a buy, over the $9 range? And the answer isn't so clear cut. The answer could be yes for some, and the answer could be no for some as well. So I will be covering the bearish reasons to not invest in SoFi at its current prices. Then I'll go into reasons why SoFi might still be a buy. So the first reason not to buy SoFi is if you are FOMOing into the stock. So FOMO just means fear of missing out, okay? So if you feel that or have an emotion that it's too late to invest in something, then 9 out of 10 times your gut feeling is probably right. You probably have, in fact, missed the boat. If you're a seasoned investor or trader, then I'm sure there's been many times that you felt this feeling and you know exactly what I'm talking about. If something seems too good to be true, then it usually is. When you FOMO into a stock, you're going to make mistakes. It's like trying to get a taxi that's still driving forward. You might end up hitting the pavement pretty hard. I mean, sure, there's a slight chance that you might be able to hop into the taxi and be on with your life, but most of us are going to end up eating dirt. So when you FOMO into a stock, how do you think the scenario plays out emotionally? For a lot of us, when you FOMO into a stock and it begins to run up, at first you're feeling great. Yeah, wow, the stock's going up. But the moment when that inevitable pullback happens, your confidence is going to be significantly lower than it would have been if you bought that stock at the price that you originally intended to enter into. When the pullback happens, you're going to have a lot of panic, right? So typically when you FOMO into a stock, when the stock falls down, you're much more susceptible to panic selling the stock. So if you are thinking about FOMOing into SoFi, then in my opinion, I'm sorry, it's just a little too late to enter into SoFi. And I would look for other stocks to invest in. Right now, there's a lot of great options out there. We cover a lot of them on this channel here. Or just simply, demonstrate some patience and wait for a better pullback on SoFi. Because in my opinion, again, buying SoFi over the $9 range, if you're just looking to trade it, is not worth its weight in gold. So looking at the chart here, you could see there's a lot of reasons why you should not be FOMOing into SoFi at such a high price. Look, there's no doubt that they've recently had a major run up. If you're looking to enter in the $9 range, I'm not sure how much more upside you're potentially going to be able to see in the short term. So reason number 2 is to not enter SoFi if you're planning on swing trading SoFi. Okay, because again, there's not much more upside. At least to me, that feels worthwhile to invest in this stock heavily at such a high premium price. After they just had a massive double up in stock price in the last few months, I just don't feel that there's enough meat on the bone left to make it worthwhile. Now, I mostly hold on to my stocks long term, but looking at a swing trade potential, the opportunity to do that has already passed. I think the perfect swing trade opportunity for SoFi was when it was around $6.50 a share to $7 a share a few weeks back. And I probably would have sold it either on Friday or today on Monday when it hit $9 a share. And, if you wanted to be a little more risk on, maybe wait till it had hit $9.50 a share for about a 20 to 30% profit. So we talked about the bearish reasons to stay away from SoFi on current day 12/18/2023, but let's look into some of the reasons why some of us are still bullish on SoFi if you're a long-term investor. If you're still bullish, hold on to the bull. Better grab a tight grip. We're about to go on a ride here, boys and girls. Now, we talked about the reasons not to enter SoFi if you're just looking to play it short term. But the only regret you'll have with SoFi if you're a long term investor is not buying more shares of this stock. Okay. So, reason one that I'm still bullish on SoFi as a long term investor is that the price is still very cheap compared to where it will be in the next 5 years. Now, if you've done your due diligence, I think you would agree that this stock has a lot of potential in the next 5 years. Now, I can't say with SoFi that in 5 years I'll 10x my money, but I do think I could easily double my money. Now, typically when I invest in a stock long term, I will be down in the short term. Okay. I will be losing money. So again, researching stocks is the easy part, but the hardest part for most is when it comes to investing is remaining confident in your purchases. You have to be strong-minded and emotionally calm to accept the fact that stocks can have big swings or ebbs and flows in either direction. You have to figure out what your tolerance for risk and reward is. If you want to play things really safe, then I'd recommend never allocating more than 5% of your money into a single stock. At the end of the day, you cannot time the bottom. Nobody has a crystal ball. So being down is just a part of the journey, okay? Looking at SoFi right now, long term, even though it's had a great run from their bottom price range, to me, even with its current price range, I think that this will be considered a low price in the future. So I think $9.50 will be a very cheap price to pick up SoFi in the next 5 years because I personally believe this will eventually go back in the $20 range. Okay. So just be ready for a lot of ups and downs along the journey. And at the end of the day, you'll be perfectly fine. Just hang on, stay confident in your purchase. All right, guys. So the second reason that I think SoFi is still worth holding on to if you're a long-term investor is that it's actually been statistically proven that for most traders, if you only hold a stock for about a year, if you make a 10% return, then you're doing exceptionally well. That's a great year for you. But if you're a long-term investor, people who on average hold a stock for 5 to 10 years, they typically are proven to double up their positions. Okay. So there's a lot more reward that goes into holding a stock long term versus short term. If I FOMO'd into SoFi and I was impatient and I panicked because the price went back down to $7, then I'm losing a ton of money. Okay. And for what? For one, I can get into the position at a much cheaper price. Why not just be patient and wait? Then on top of that, I could start dollar cost averaging so that I have a larger position accumulated over time. So that when 5 years out in the future, instead of just having 100 shares of SoFi, I have thousands of shares of SoFi. So my return is going to be even better and bigger when it does, start rocketing upwards. Okay. We're still waiting on a lot of information to see what will happen with SoFi. So why would I want to buy at one of its peak price ranges when I could simply wait? We have a very important quarter coming up for SoFi. If they're not able to turn profitable next quarter and they're still trying to pay down this debt, then SoFi is going to be in a lot of trouble and it might come barreling back down to the $5, $6 range. And that would be an amazing opportunity to buy. And I certainly wouldn't want to have a bulky position when the price could potentially tumble down. I personally think that SoFi will be turning profitable pretty soon. But if it's not next quarter, we will definitely see a big pullback and have a better opportunity to buy in the future. And then we can load up the boat, wait to the following quarter when it does turn profitable, and then we're off to the races. I hope this video helped you get a little more clarity on SoFi and maybe how you should tackle building your position in your portfolio. If you'd like me to cover any other stocks, just let me know down in the comments below. Hope you all have a great day. Thank you. Hey everyone, I just want to say thank you to my 2 new subscribers for being on the channel. I'd love to hear back from y'all. If I'm doing a good job, please give me a like, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel. It really means the world to me. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.